I don't know, guys. When did we when did making mistakes stop being part of the human experience? Like, when did we seek perfection over effort and trying? When did our lives become so complicated that every single thing requires to have rules and regulations and vis-a-vis? Like, what's going on with this generation, guys? I don't get it. I don't get it. So I don't know. Lately, when I'm scrolling on TikTok, and then all these. The thing about TikTok is it's a very good app. Like, I really love TikTok, but the problem is it can be very overstimulating because you have access to so much information and so many opinions of others that sometimes it's very hard to form original and solid opinions of your own, like original thought. It's very hard because now I found myself, I found my opinion switching from like something that I firmly believed in to something else just because that's the loud and general, like that's the loud and popular opinion that's out there on TikTok. And I think this is becoming a problem, especially to the human experience. And what do I mean? Like, we're dehumanizing the human experience. I think we're no longer allowing people to, no longer allowing space for people to make mistakes. We're now creating so many rules and so many regulations that is very restricting, guys. Like, oh, let me out of here. And it's like every time you scroll on TikTok, especially when you look at this whole relationship and friendship paradigm, that's like one of the main and very big discourses on TikTok that actually gains a lot of views and vis-a-vis. I don't know, guys. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of seeing TikToks. Oh my gosh, if he does this, that means he's a narcissist. If he does this, that means he doesn't love you anymore, he doesn't want you anymore. Oh, people who do this. Oh, people who take time, I don't know, to text or whatnot, they don't love you. People who do certain things are either anxious, attachment, avoidance, and whatnot. And as a psychology student, right, because when I came into psychology, I also expected that most of the topics would be covering are like, like the TikTok psychology. But when you look at TikTok psychology, what we call pop psychology, and actual psychology, these are two different things. And I'm realizing that, like what Thomas Caesars once said, that there's there's a pandemic of, he said there's a pandemic of psychiatrists than there is a pandemic of the diseases. I'm not saying this verbatim, but he said something along those lines. So I also think in that sense there's also like a pandemic of psychologists and oh, psychologists, I don't know, people who are experienced and yada yada, unless there is the problems, the actual issue that we should be dealing and tackling with. Because I don't know, I feel like microanalyzing every single aspect of behavior, do I think it's important to, and it is important to be aware and to analyze. I think that's why we also have psychology. That's why psychology exists. This is a tool to know what's happening, like what type of behavior, what does it describe, what are the symptoms and what follows, what behavior happens. And after that, it's also supposed to be used for behavior modification. But I think the way we're using it nowadays, we're just using it so loosely just to make people feel bad in a way. Like, oh, like we're now calling people that are narcissists people that I just they just don't care. People that just don't care. We're not calling them narcissists. The narcissism is, it's more complex than that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're throwing these terms so loosely. Like, I think human beings are allowed to be complex. We're allowed, well, human beings are capable of hurting others. They're also capable of being hurt, and they're also capable of love. They're also capable of pain. They're also capable of hatred, actually. We're also capable of joy. We're also capable of silence. We're also capable of peace. We're just there's so many things that go into the aspect of being a human being. And with all these rules and restrictions that the modern generation is placing on people, I don't know, it's just making us turn into like robots or something. Like, that's why there's like a lack of individualism, I would say, because people are not figuring things out, because some people are afraid of showing some emotions because, or express themselves truly, because, oh, if I show that I care, that means he's gonna think I'm a simp, and if I show that I love too much, he's gonna be chased away. He's going to go away from me. He's gonna be weirded out because I'm showing so much love and affection. Like, I'm just so tired, guys. You don't get. I don't. I'm not even. I think I'm not articulating myself to the best, but I'm just saying, like, it's so overstimulating to be a human being in this day and age, because there's just so many rules. You get? So there's sometimes, like, I don't know. I don't know. I think this is something that we need to rectify as a generation. And I think that's why in the 90s, friendships and relationships, these things used to work out well, because I wouldn't say, because I also do think 90s love, there's also a nuance where it's like it was kind of toxic. There's sometimes I'm like, I would not want to be in a relationship in the 90s, but there's sometimes I'm like, yeah, these guys had real authentic relationships and friendships because they expressed themselves more freely, because there was no judgment, there was no opinions coming and hitting you from left, right, center, just boom, 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 just juggling your head up. So what am I saying is, I think it's time we allow people to make mistakes. Okay, it's time we stop labeling things. It's time we stop throwing psychological terms and diagnosing, self-diagnosis. Like we should stop diagnosing ourselves and others. Stop microanalyzing things and start experiencing things and living and loving things. Just showing up the best we could. Stop limiting yourself. Like today, my friend was like showing me a video of her man saying, "Oh, I should love when I try to love her less so that she could love me more." And I'm like, stop the madness. Like, stop the insanity. What do you mean you need to love someone less so that they love you more? What are these games? What are we playing? What? What? I'm just bamboozled. What? Like, I don't know. I don't want my kids to grow up in such an environment. I don't want my kids to ever have such a mindset where you have to shrink yourself in order to gain a lot from the world. No, I do think, yes, some things, of course, you do, of course, rules and regulations in some other cases, they're important, but not for a living, man. I don't think for a living we need to go through all this. It's all just very crazy now. It's very crazy. And I think we want authentic things, but we're making things more fabricated and more, we're making things more fabricated and more body, like more robotic, you know? And I'm seeing this whole strict program. Like, I get it, the strict program thing, I get it to some extent. Like, I think we should create strict programs for ourselves. Like, I need to create a strict program for Angel. And eventually, the people that align with my strict program will align will align themselves with my strict program, with who I'm becoming. And the people that don't, they will eventually also seclude themselves. That's what I've started seeing myself, because when I started putting boundaries in my life, and that's something I'm still actively doing, I started losing friends. And I used to wonder why, and I realized no, it's just people realizing that okay, we're not in the same alignment, and they're just moving off. And like, kudos to them for doing that, you know, for making it easier. And I think that's what a strict program should like mostly be. And I think the rest, where it's like when you're trying to find friends and partners, it should just be boundaries. But like you like, we're just not giving people room to, like, when someone makes one mistake, you know, like calling the relationship off, calling the friendship off, cutting people off, this whole thing, it's like, stop the madness. Like, I've made so many mistakes in my friendships now, and I also think it also depends on with the mistake and the context, but I've made so many mistakes and my friends have allowed me to grow. Okay, I've made so many mistakes in relationships, but these things have also allowed me to grow. But I don't think it's like you need to end things. No, guys. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, I think I just wanted to get that off my chest, because we need to stop the madness, guys. We need to stop the crazy. We need to go back to just living and just being free, just being human beings, and just figuring things out the way we want to figure things out, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this. This is my first YouTube video, and definitely not my last. Yeah, like, subscribe. What else do they say? Oh, I'm so bad at this. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Yes, comment. Comment. You know, I always thought I'd make my first YouTube video with new hair. I was actually planning to make my first YouTube video with new hair, new nails, new glasses, you know, with a new phone, a better tripod stand. But I was like, you know what, let's just start this thing. We never know where it's gonna take us. You never know. You know? So, angel out.